Hello everyone, welcome to the Chemical Safety Technology course. I am your instructor, Suo Yanbo. In this session, we will explore safety procedures for shutting down chemical plants. How should we safely handle the shutdown of chemical plants? Today, I'd like to share some insights with you. I'll cover two aspects. First, precautions for shutdown operations. Second, safety procedures following shutdown. Precautions for shutdown operations. First, follow the shutdown plan and proceed in an orderly manner. Pay attention to 1. Reducing temperature and pressure to the specified process conditions. 2. Implementing a supervision system for critical operations. And 3. Ensuring all materials are completely discharged and processed. Once the shutdown plan is finalized, the shutdown must be carried out in an orderly manner, strictly adhering to the scheduled shutdown time, procedures, and all safety measures outlined in the plan. Key points to note during shutdown operations are as follows. First, the pressure relief system must be used to slowly reduce pressure from high to low. Care must be taken to ensure pressure does not drop to zero, and negative pressure must be avoided at all costs. Generally, a slight positive pressure should be maintained within the system, and equipment must not be disassembled or moved until proper pressure relief has been completed. Second, cooling must be conducted at the specified cooling rate and must ensure compliance with specified requirements. High-temperature equipment must not be cooled rapidly to avoid damage. After the heat source has been shut off, forced ventilation or natural cooling is recommended. Generally, the temperature of the medium inside the equipment must be below 60 degrees Celsius. Third, completely drain all stored gases, liquids, and solid materials from the production system. If materials cannot be completely drained, this must be detailed in the safety maintenance handover log, and additional safety measures must be implemented. The discharge of residual materials must strictly follow designated locations and methods. They must not be arbitrarily vented or discharged into sewers to prevent environmental pollution or accidents. 2. Post-shutdown safety procedures. This section covers 3 main aspects. 1. Isolation. 2. Purging, replacement, and cleaning. And 3 other precautions. I will now discuss each of these in turn. First, isolation. Since unreliable isolation has frequently led to major accidents caused by toxic, flammable, explosive, corrosive, asphyxiating, or high-temperature media entering maintenance equipment must be reliably isolated. Depending on the specific circumstances, the safest and most reliable isolation method is to remove the pipeline or insert or remove blind flanges. Removing the pipeline involves disconnecting the pipes connected to the equipment under maintenance, as well as removing detachable components such as valves and expansion joints, and then installing a blind flange on the flange at the pipeline end. Inserting and removing blind flanges is a hazardous operation. A work permit for this operation must be obtained, and all safety measures must be implemented simultaneously. Purging, to ensure safety during hot work and entry into equipment, all flammable, explosive, toxic, and hazardous gases within the scope of maintenance must be purged from all equipment and pipelines. For flammable, explosive, and toxic gases, inert gases such as steam or nitrogen are typically used as purging media. Alternatively, the water injection and venting method may be used to expel flammable and toxic gases. Safety precautions for purge operations. First, the equipment and piping to be purged must be reliably isolated from the system. Second, a purge plan must be developed and a purge flow diagram drawn prior to purging. Based on the density differences between the purge medium and the medium being displaced, the inlet for the purge medium, the outlet for the displaced medium, and sampling points must be selected appropriately to prevent dead zones. Third, purge requirements. When using water as the purge medium, ensure the equipment is completely filled with water. It is strictly prohibited to leave the equipment partially filled. When using an inert gas as the purge medium, ensure that the volume of inert gas used is generally at least 3 times the volume of the original medium. Fourth, take samples for analysis at the sampling points specified in the purge flowchart and ensure the results meet the required standards. For flammable or toxic liquids that have not been completely drained from equipment and pipelines, they are generally removed by purging with steam or an inert gas. Safety precautions for purging operations. First, purging operations shall be conducted sequentially according to the pipeline numbers and equipment location numbers specified in the shutdown plans, purging flowchart, and a log sheet must be completed. The log sheet shall indicate the pipeline, section number, equipment location number, purging, pressure gas inlet point, gas outlet point, and the person in charge. Second, upon completion of purging, close the material valve first before shutting off the gas supply to prevent backflow of the medium in the piping system. Third, after purging is complete, take samples for analysis. Once results are satisfactory, promptly isolate the system from the operational system. 8-3, cleaning for deposits and scale of flammable and toxic substances adhering to the inner walls of equipment that cannot be removed by purging or blowing. Cleaning and scraping methods must be employed. Cleaning generally involves 2 methods, steam cleaning and chemical cleaning. First, clear the maintenance site and access routes. The maintenance site must be equipped with appropriate safety signs in accordance with the provisions of GB 2894, and a designated person must be responsible for supervision. Unauthorized personnel are prohibited from entering. Temporary structures, such as maintenance offices, rest areas, warehouses, or construction sheds, must not be erected near pipelines transporting flammable, explosive, or toxic substances. Pits, trenches, steep slopes, and other hazards affecting maintenance safety must be filled in, covered with ground-level grading, or secured with fencing and danger signs. Warning lights must be installed at night. Drainage at the maintenance site must be kept clear, and no standing water is permitted. The site must maintain unobstructed access roads with level surfaces, solid foundations, and adequate lighting. Traffic safety signs must be installed on site roads. Second, disconnect the power supply to the equipment to be inspected. After verifying through a test start that the equipment is de-energized, hang a do not operate safety sign on the power switch and lock it. Third, contact the utilities department promptly and handle the matter appropriately. Fourth, before the safety handover for maintenance, the production department and the maintenance department must strictly complete the safety handover procedures. After both parties have conducted a thorough inspection in accordance with the above requirements and confirmed that the conditions for a safe handover are met, the responsible persons from both sides shall sign the safety handover document to acknowledge compliance. Even when maintenance or emergency repairs are conducted in a production workshop without shutting down operations, the safety handover document must be filled out in detail. In this lesson, we learned about the safety procedures for shutting down chemical plants. That concludes this lesson. For your homework, please reflect on the following question. What are the safety procedures for shutting down a chemical plant? From the perspective of your own work, how can you ensure safety during a shutdown? Alright, that concludes this session. See you in the next class.